Hey everybody, it's the weekend. I'm showing you something on demand today about a lot of questions about the $1 million margin club, the MMC, which is becoming very successful and exciting for people to watch. I haven't put out too many videos about it yet because I wanted to make sure I explained more about how we found the stocks and what the $1 million margin club was about. So I'm going to share this layout with you. This has been tweaked since the first video I put out with the MMC because of all the feedback coming from the actual traders, which are made up of a lot of brokers and professional traders and people that have high account size and have been trading a long time. And the basic theory about this, well, I'm about to explain about everything, and I'm going to show you the scanner as well. So if you can remember, if you like what you see, remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be great. I will be releasing more and more of these videos so you can see how we trade going up to $1 million to trade with. So, it's pretty exciting when you can trade with that kind of share size, and you really need only 250K to get to that $1 million margin. But the exciting part is any trader, any share size, 25,000 the PDT, you can be trading what we trade, 200 to 400 shares, and make big money, thousands of dollars. Not as, obviously not as much as the share size means everything as far as the amount. But the general logic behind this is we have all been momentum traders, all been, serious, fast in and out scalpers using hotkeys and probably a lot of what you might be going through. And everybody's been, for the most part, very successful. When we have red days and red trades, it's painful because you're trading stocks that are maybe $5, $10, $20, and you might have 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. So when you get caught up in a flush, and some of you have probably, exactly what I'm talking about, it's real touch and go. And the other problem about it, it's not just touch and go, it's horribly painful. But the other problem about it is with that volatility are the really high moves up or down, and that can put you in the position to lose, also to win big money. So we were all looking for something collectively. How can we make that? Have the potential to make that money, because we can go large share size with more expensive stocks, but not have the possibility of the huge range that happens with those type of momentum trading. And a lot of us had kind of gravitated toward that and swing trading and trend trading, and are just holding it for a couple of months and playing the whole market, or going through our brokerage and just having them hold your money, whatever, various kinds of trading. But we worked on developing a strategy where you could have the exciting part of the scalping and momentum trading with less risk involved. So that's what it's all about. And the first thing is finding stocks that act like what we want. So we want to make sure stock can't flush like, $10 in, 1 minute or whatever, So we want to get large cap stocks that do have an average true range of, from $4 to $8. So there's movement in the day, but it's much slower, kind of like a big RV rather than a sports car, to give an analogy, so that you have time to say, I made a mistake. I don't like this trade. I'm getting out. And you need to do that pretty quick with large share size, obviously. So since it moves like an RV, it's hard to get too caught up unless that persistent problem that we all have, where we don't cut our losses because we just don't want to believe it's not going to go our way. But if you make a trading plan and you stick to it, which is way easier said than done, that shouldn't happen. So you have more time too with these big RV stocks to say, hey, I need to get out. The RV's moving slow. It takes a while just to change lanes. You have time. So more time thinking like, I really should get out and just get back in and make that money back. So I have to, since it's a weekend, the scanners don't work, but on demand, but I have another one open over here, another Thinkorswim. So this is what the scanner is set at right here. So our market cap, you just have a stock and a study. All right. So if you go to the scanner thing, you can see I have a whole video on how to set up scanners. But so right here, you want to have 25 million minimum, which really means 25 billion, right? So because it's in the million, 25,000 in the millions means 25 billion. You don't have to worry about a max size on that, right? So that's the only thing you need to have under the stock study. Stock line here. Then under the study, you want to go to the ATR, okay? And then you want to put the input length is going to be 2, which is 2-day, right? And then you don't need a minimum price. You put a maximum price. If we want to go large share size, there comes a point where actually the stocks that go much higher than this don't move in the average true range that we'd like anyway, or don't move in the way we'd like to scalp them. You've got to find just the right stock to scalp an RV type of stock, So, and then we put the ATR at 6. We found that works best. It's going to limit the amount of stocks. And then we found that the volume limit didn't really matter because you're going to be sorted by volume, descending. You only really need to show 10. You're only going to have 3 or 4th. And when you press scan, this is what came up for Friday, because today is a Saturday. So anyway, so Tesla's almost always there. You will find that if you make a watch list after you scan a basic, like these top 4 for sure, are almost always there. And then they start to change, and they have less and less volume. So we're pretty much trading one of these. So it's not hard to find the stocks to trade for the MMC. This is what's going to work. So let's take a little deeper look at that. Again, you just have to highlight the URL below if you want this set up. So I'm going to go over it real quick. I'm not going to spend a longer time on it because I have a whole bunch of different videos that show that. But here's my 1-minute scalping, with the seller's indicator and then the enhanced volume. I have a daily that I can pop up down here to mark things out. And then over here, this is when I check every morning. This is an addition that we did. I used to have it, but I realized I really need it for the MMC. Every morning, we need to know a good idea of what the general market's going to be doing. So you open these up to see and figure out overall, sometimes as a group, which is kind of fun. If we get into a stock and it's not going the right way, is it most likely to change based on what is the overall sentiment of the market? So I'm going to make a video about how to read all these and do all that. That's not this video. And then I have a 15-minute a day, the level 2, the active trader, and then a 5-minute over here with the same enhanced volume, and then the RSI, and then the ADX. So all this will be available. I recommend, since custom scripts won't move over with a layout, download the custom scripts first. Then when you move the layover, it will populate just like this looks. Okay, so why I wanted to pull this over is I'm going to open up one of these charts here. Actually, I'll open up a 5-minute. So let me get a 5-minute open here and kind of give us a little bit more room. So right now, we don't usually start. The MMC doesn't start till between like 10:15 or 10:30 unless they've already slowed down. So what we're looking for to get that RV feel is the stuff that starts early in the market, the wildness. If you looked at a 1-minute right here, you'd probably see better what I'm talking about. You want that to pass. You want to get to like 10 o'clock, and then its stocks are sort of consolidated. It looks here that it started more like 10:45, and then you just kind of move across. Let me just take a look at the 1 for a second. It might look differently here. We can get back to the volatility of the open. Yeah, so you can see here, the swings here, you don't really want to get involved in trying to scalp with that kind of act. You can do it. It's just, it's not, even when you mark everything out, it's a crapshoot. Your best trader, it feels a lot more like gambling, right? Even with all these indicators, it can work. Some people just do it all the time. There's a bunch in the group that start off in the morning and they have $10,000 within 20 minutes, 20,000. It's craziness. So it definitely taught me a few things about trading. You always keep learning, right? You just learn and learn and learn. But anyway, so we're waiting for more of this kind of action. straight across, which normally you would say, hey, that's so boring, what can you do in there? But you can do a lot in here. So if we go back to the 5 minute, and we take a look at like 1030, let's look at the range of these, right? So this stock down here is 93.71, and then it goes up right over here to 95.20 right here, right? In 10 minutes. Or you take the bottom down here where it's resting on, that's the 9 moving average. Again, 94.34. Just to the top of that candle is 94.62. So let's just say you're making 30 cents and you dropped in 5,000 shares, you have $1,500 in one trade on one candle. So, or we typically drop in 2,500 and then we're able to add to it if it starts going the wrong way. So, you know, you saw me probably in the original video, depending when you watch this, that I made $20,000 in the first 15 minutes, I think it was. I don't typically trade where I hold it that long, to hold each trade as long. If I get to 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, I will sell and get back in, because if you do 10 trades like that, you know, you're $12,000, $13,000, $15,000. $20,000 was a very rare day, and that was my record for scalping it. I have had great days for long-term trend and everything, but for a scalp, that was really good that fast, where I wasn't even in a momentum stock. So, but anyway, so within all of these candles, then it just comes down to knowing how to read the move, and you have one chance to correct the stock. Well, I mean, you could go in at 500 shares and have, you know, 3 chances to correct the stock. Because if you go in at 500, you add 500. The next time, if you want to double, you know, you want to half gain your position, you have to add 1,000. And then if you're at 2,000, you have to add 2,000 for 4,000. So if you really want to cut it in half, whatever your downside is. So now you're looking for trends, and you're looking for all the patterns that I talked about when I was live trading, and how you trade. Even when you look at my perfect 1 minute layout or my perfect 5 minute layout videos, I give a lot of analysis on how to read this, and I'm about to make a chart pattern one. But that's basically the secret of the MMC. That's what we do. You know, here would be lots of shorting. So long and short, you know, we'd all be helping each other read. And there's no sure thing. I mean, nobody's got a magic lamp or a solution. So you're trying to give yourself get the most indicators up. Everything I mean, our charts are marked up like crazy. But when you're just trading in the moment, none of those lines are really in your way, and you're going to find, I would say that 1 out of every 4 support or resistance lines is the real one you're looking for. So you kind of have that way to move by it or up and down. So it just seems to work out that way. They're not all going to be the right line. You know, they're not always going to be, or trend lines, long-term trend lines. They're not always going to work. But I'd like to get more up there, because then a bunch of them become respected, and they will be respected over and over throughout the whole day. I mean, you can just see from looking here. So this stopped out right here. So let's take a look at that. So if I mark that line and then I continue to trade it through the day, look, kind of went down and reversed here, went down and reversed here. We're over here. It tapped, hit, tapped, hit. So even just marking that opening high, that wild high, you know, it's useful to see. It looks like it's taken till 11:45 for this to become maybe something that you could use. But, you know, and that's kind of, I will mark lines throughout. I don't really trade that long, but I mean, within a half hour to an hour, I will mark little lines to see if they're respected on the 1 minute candles, because I'm going to be trading on the 1 minute over here, not the 5 minute. And all these will be marked out. So I wanted to give you a little analysis about what it was, you know, how we trade, the stocks that we trade. And then I think the best way to really learn is to watch those live trading videos. And you can see how a lot of times I'll call the ball for everybody. I'll mark out for everybody. Everybody makes their own trades. I'm not saying that, but so you're seeing me mark out the charts. And then after a while, you know, if you don't already know, you'll learn how to put these support, resistance, trend lines, what I read, and what everybody else seems to kind of be in agreement. There are always some outliers that do it differently, and sometimes they do way better, and sometimes they don't. So, but guys, I hope this was helpful. Please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you out there trading, and see you at the next video. Thanks.